Hey yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy Matthew Maley for MatthewMaley.com. We are back on the couch. It is time for another weekly movie review. And this week I got a flick that I actually am really happy I checked out. It was something that when I saw it was first coming out, I thought it was an interesting concept. I will admit I like one of the guys, I like the star of it. And honestly, I thought it really delivered. I'm speaking about In Time, which stars Justin Timberlake, which I admit I'm a fan of his, both musically, ever since he was solo. I can't co-sign any of the boy band crap, but Future Sex Love Sounds was a hot album. Like, it was a hot album. As well as stars Amanda Seyfried, who I wasn't really very familiar with. I'd seen some things that she was in, but I thought she was great in this. Cillian Murphy, who I've always really liked him. I think he does a great job, though I've never really liked most of the characters in the movies he's been in. I didn't like his character in Batman, stuff like that. So I like him as an actor. I think he's a good job, but it does a good job. I just don't really like him personally. It's his characters usually, as well as has a cameo by Matt Bomer, who is Neil Caffrey on White Collar. I'm not into the show. I've watched a few episodes of it, and it seems really cool. It's just on my list that I haven't gotten around to. He just has a pretty much just an extended cameo, as well as Olivia Wilde has somewhat of a extended cameo as well. And then Vincent Catheiser, who is a well-known face for the show Mad Men, which is another show that I haven't gotten into yet, but it's actually just came back on the air, I believe. I saw a preview for it, and the trailer was causing a bunch of problems. 9/11 the 9/11 survivors were protesting it because it showed a person falling. I guess any time somebody falls, it's reminiscent of 9/11. But whatever. I digress. Sorry, a little rant there. Pretty early on too. Usually they go about 20 minutes in before I start ranting. So the point of this movie is sometime in the future, the currency is now time. Money is no longer there, it is time. And essentially, all human beings age to the age 25. And then once they hit 25, their time begins. And they have right on their arm a digital counter, 13 digits, that starts counting down. And when they hit 25, they're given 1 year. And they are then required to work, to trade, whatever they can do to keep time on the clock. But once your time runs out, you literally die. That is it. And they call it timing out. So once you get all zeros, the last thing you see is you going, and then you drop. So the future is broken down into different time zones, which are essentially the nice areas and then the ghetto. It all kind of takes place around in California and ranges from some of the areas of the ghetto, which I believe was filmed and kind of shown in San Francisco, to downtown LA, which is the top tier, as good as it gets area, with all the rich, billionaires essentially. So Justin Timberlake's character lives in the ghetto. He's always been a factory worker, actually manufacturing the scanners, the capsules that carry time. And literally, how you scan, you put your arm out, and it goes bzzz, and takes time off of. Or if you want to transfer it to somebody, you grab each other's arms like that and calculate the time. And you can watch the thing counting down. Okay, I'm going to give you 5 minutes. There's 5 minutes. I'm going to give you an hour. There's an hour. And literally everything is paid for with time. You want a cup of coffee? Boom, 3 minutes. You want to go see a movie? Well, actually, I don't even think anybody would see a movie because then you're just wasting time. That isn't really a good example. You want to go ride a bus? You have to pay a certain amount. And we find out pretty early on, you have things that you have to kind of decide with, where the bus ride costs 2 hours because it's a 2 hour long bus ride. So then you decide, do you walk it where it would take 2 hours anyway, or just pay the 2 hours? And the one thing that really becomes obvious and shown is because of this class system, there has to be kind of death, really, because in order for, and that's even one of the key lines of the movie is, in order for a few to be immortal, many must die, and it's truthful because, if you continually have all these people living, where are you going to put them all? And once you get to 25, you can keep living literally thousands of years. The only way you die is if you run out of time or you get killed. You get shot, you get stabbed, you get in a car accident, many of those things. That's the only way you die. So you can truly, if you have the time, you can live on forever. And because of that, and because of the fact that you need people in the lower time zones to die, so therefore you can have room for more people, inflation is never ending. And inflation will change daily, literally, to the point where everybody in the ghetto is broke, is living day to day, truly. And that's something that Justin Timberlake's character actually discusses, is the fact that he's used to living on 24 hours. When they were so in debt because they lived in the ghetto, and it's funny, Olivia Wilde is actually who plays his mother, who in real life, Justin Timberlake's actually older than her, and she's 50 years old, so she's been 25 for 25 more years. But because they were already in so much debt, when he turned 25 and could officially use that year, it went straight to paying off debt. So really, Justin Timberlake's entire life, he's been living a day-to-day, living with an hour to spare, living with 5 minutes to spare, until you can find that extra, couple minutes. And the factory job he works at continually is upping their quotas. And even though he's the top producer, he doesn't hit the quota. So now they only give him 3/4 of the money that they used to. And now if you want a cup of coffee, well, it used to be 3 minutes, now it's 4 minutes. Well, now if you want this, now it's that. And because of it constantly going up, constantly people die. And therefore, that works out so that there's ability for everybody to still live, for the rich people. And in addition to having to worry about running out of time, you have what are called Minutemen, who are these vigilante gangs that go around stealing people's time. And really, you're pretty well screwed, because they'll take your time and then they shoot you. If they don't take all your time, well, then they're going to shoot you anyway. So you got to deal with those. And then you also have the timekeepers. The timekeepers are the police force, but they're very Gestapo-esque. Everybody's presumed guilty, at least especially if you're in the ghetto, everybody's presumed guilty, and they definitely aren't the nicest of people. Cillian Murphy plays one of the timekeepers. So pretty early on in the movie, Justin Timberlake and his friend are out at a bar, just trying to unwind a little bit after work, even though they really shouldn't be wasting their money on that, or their time on that, when they see a character come in, Matt Bomer. Was it Bomer or Bromer? Sorry. Bomer. Come in, and he's buying drinks for everybody, and he's flashing his century. And he's got a century on his arm. So he's got some loot, or time, I guess you would say. So he's flashing his century around, and pretty quickly, first off, the Minutemen come up, because they want that money, that time. So they come up, and they're going to fight for it, what they say is a fight, which is essentially just an arm wrestle, where you put your arm and you fight to take the other person's time, and you go back and forth, and whoever's stronger gets all of the time and therefore wins, and the other person dies. So this is about to happen, and Justin Timberlake saves Matt Bomer's character. So apparently Matt Bomer is from Greenwich, I believe is what they named the place, which is the LA area, the top level, best time zone. And he's been alive for, I think he said he was in his hundreds, and is pretty much just sick of it. He's done feeling guilty for killing all of these people essentially, which is essentially what all of these rich people are doing. So while Justin Timberlake is helping him and is actually sleeping, Matt Bomer's character gives him all of his time and then kills himself. Well, Timberlake then says, you know what, I'm going to go make something better with my life, gives away some of his time, and then starts traveling between time zones to make it to the top level, whatever. Well, of course, it's the future, so there's Big Brother everywhere. They see what they think is Timberlake killing him for his time. They don't realize that it was given to him. So now Cillian Murphy and his band of leather-clad, timekeepers are now searching for him. So once Justin Timberlake makes it to Greenwich, he sticks out like a sore thumb. One thing that I thought was funny, and they mention, is that in Greenwich, nobody runs. They don't need to. They all have hundreds of hours, so there's no need to run. And even if they are low on their hours, they've got hundreds and thousands of hours in the bank. So there's no need to run anywhere. So as soon as he gets there, the one thing you see is you see him run, and everybody kind of looks at him like, "What the hell's this guy doing?" So he, in the process of checking into the swankiest of places and getting kitted up in a nice tuxedo and all that, and over tipping everywhere he goes, he then catches the eye of Amanda Seyfried's character, and he then goes through to the casino, which even to get in you have to give a year, I think is what he said, just to get into the casino. And as they're at the tables are no limit, so you can literally bet 1,000,000 years at the table if you've got it. So in a hand of poker, Justin Timberlake is playing against the character Vincent Cathier, or whatever his name is, and ends up literally going all in. He ends up calling a bet all in for every last second of his, except he has 30 seconds. Ends up, it wouldn't have even been a call on the turn because, well, as a poker player, it wouldn't have happened. The guy that he was playing against had a set of queens, and on the river, Justin Timberlake caught a gut shot straight. You wouldn't have put all your money in there going for a gut shot, but whatever. So he literally, with like 5 seconds to spare, Justin Timberlake wins. I think it came out to he had like 1,000 hours or 1,100 hours, something like that. So he ends up going and buying a nice Jaguar that actually it's cool. All the cars sound like kind of electric, but a lot of the muscle cars still have some roar to them. All the cops drive like 70s eras Chargers or Chevelles, and they did a good job with the future. I'll give them that. I thought it was really cool. He then goes to, the thing that I was mentioning is it turns out of the person that he beat, his daughter is Amanda Seyfried's character. So he invites him to a party at their place, and when he gets there, he then finds out that this guy that he just beat is in fact the owner of all the timekeeping machines, or all the timekeeping banks, essentially. He is the timekeeper of timekeepers. He is the owner of all time. And one of the funny things that comes up is when he first sees that is Amanda Seyfried's dad. Amanda Seyfried's character, her dad's character makes this statement of, "You're wondering, is she my daughter? Is she my wife? Is she my mother or mother-in-law? Might she be my sister?" Because everybody looks 25, so you don't know. And he then says, "No, it's my daughter." And then there's another funny scene when you first get there. When he first gets to the party, he walks in, and Amanda Seyfried is standing there, as well as her father, with 2 other 25-year-old looking women. And he then introduces them as my mother-in-law, my wife, my daughter. And they could all essentially be sisters because they all look identical. So that was really kind of there were a lot of things that I thought they put time into too. I thought that there were some very well nuanced things. So at the party, the timekeepers catch up with Justin Timberlake, accuse him of murder, and give him 2 hours to live. They take all his time, put it in holding, and whatever. So he then, in an effort to escape, kidnaps Amanda Seyfried's character. And that's when all hell breaks loose. And through a very blatant case of Stockholm syndrome, she then begins to fall for Justin Timberlake and begins to realize, what is the point of my life? I can live forever. I've got 10 bodyguards. I can have anything I want, but what's the point? And one of the things she says is like, what's the point of, the only way that you can die is if you make a dumb decision, but how sad is it to live thousands of years and never make a bad decision, never do anything that is dangerous or by chance? Like, even nobody drives. None of the rich people drive. They are driven. And that's why when he goes and buys this Jaguar, the dealer even says, where would you like us to have it delivered to? He says, delivered? I'm going to drive it. And the guy looks at him all crazy. So it then becomes somewhat of a Bonnie and Clyde story / Robin Hood story, while still being tailed by Minutemen and the Timekeepers. They begin to go after these banks to give back time. And at the end, I really thought it was a pretty cool movie. I'm not going to give away the ending or anything like that, but there are some really good tense moments in it. There's, a few sad moments in it. There are some like edge of your seat. Oh my God, is he going to run out of time? How are they going to do this? Run type of moments. And I thought it was very well done, and I really thought that it gave a good description of the class breakdown of America and the world, really. And it was funny because there were certain elements of this movie that you kind of just had to say, well, it's just a fun movie, and you just accept it. But then there are other elements of this movie that were truly commentaries of society. So it was weird because parts of it were like super not serious at all, and then other parts of it could be one of the most serious movies ever made. You know what I mean? So it was definitely, it was weird to see the juxtaposition between some just super fun, mindless entertainment, and other aspects of it. Like, wow, this is really truthful. Look at, how the world is set up for the rich to keep getting richer while the poor continue to flounder and die. So it definitely was interesting. It definitely made you think in a much different way than most movies like that would make you think. And one thing I thought was cool is that, constantly, like, when she first meets when Amanda Seyfried first meets Justin Timberlake, she says, oh, you must be from time. Like, not you're from money, not your parents are millionaires. No, you must be from time, or you must have 1,000,000 years in the bank. Or, oh yeah, for my 25th birthday, my father gave me a century. It's things like that. It's interesting. It really was interesting. And I don't know, I thought it was cool. I thought it was a very well done movie. Yes, it could have been done better. Justin Timberlake isn't that great of an actor. I like him. I think he's a cool guy. He'd probably be in the top 10 of celebrities I like to party with because he seems cool as hell. But he's not the best of actors. And there are other actors that probably could have done a better job and made it a better movie. But he did well with what he was, and I thought the characters worked well together. I thought him and Olivia Wilde in the beginning worked very well. I thought him and Amanda Seyfried worked very well. I thought that him and Cillian Murphy worked very well. I thought that they all had very good on-screen compatibility. Plus, I thought it was really cool, the fashion in it. The fashion of the future is pretty impressive in like the top end. Everyone in Greenwich is wearing the top level couture. Even the Minutemen are really dressed up very nicely. Like, I thought there were some cool fashion, pieces in the future. And I also thought it was interesting that even in the future, people are still just using guns, regular bullet, standard action guns, rifles, pistols, whatever. I thought that was kind of interesting, that everything's changed to this level, but we're still just using guns. So it was a well-done movie from a lot of different perspectives. Yes, there were things that could have been done better, but I liked it. I'm giving it 4 stars, and it's going to be added to the collection. I don't know how much rewatchability it had, but it was creative enough for me to add it to the collection. I really do think if it would have had somebody other than Justin Timberlake, somebody, Tom Hardy in there maybe, I think it would have gotten better reviews, and I think it would have actually been a better received movie. It still was an action movie at the end of the day, but there was enough substance to it that I actually think it could have been a more well-reviewed, well-received movie. So, End of the day, there's my review. I am Matthew Maley. This is MatthewMaley.com, and this is this week's weekly movie review with yours truly. So, let me know what you guys think. Did you guys like In Time? Did you think it was horrible? Let me know. Do you think I'm out of my mind for giving it 4 stars? Do you think I'm right on target with 4 stars? So, I'm always curious to hear what you guys think of my reviews as well as the movies that I review. So, as always, send me an email, send me a private message, send me an Insta message, send me a text, whatever. Send me a video response. I don't care. I just love hearing from you guys. So, as always, you can check out all my other videos on MatthewMaley.com. Check out the video blog tab. You got everything listed right there. Or check me out on YouTube. Search for Matthew Maley Poker. Get you all my videos where you can like them, you can comment on them, you can watch them a billion times, and you can subscribe to my channel so you can see when new videos are posted up. Boom, boom, boom. And as always, you can check out me on Facebook. Search for Matthew Maley Poker. You can like my page as well as suggest it to your friends. Or just drop me a line on there. And as always, you can follow your boy on Twitter at Matthew Maley. Got all kinds of stuff tweeting up on there all the time. So follow me on there. So once again, Matthew Maley from MatthewMaley.com. This weekly movie review reviewed In Time. I'm actually really happy there weren't any other movies for me to review this week because I ended up seeing a movie I really liked. And had wanted to review multiple other times, but there was always something else to watch. So I'm glad I finally got around to it. And hopefully you guys are too. So go check it out. Let me know what you guys think. And as always, have a great rest of your weekend. I am signing off. Peace out, y'all.